Mr. Speaker, yield myself as much time as I may consume. Neither of my colleagues bothered to say anything about what their bill they're bringing forward actually does. They didn't say a word about it. So let's quote their own bill for them, since they clearly don't want to talk about it. They want to remove U.S. forces from hostilities in Venezuela. That is what the bill says. Anybody can go read it, black ink, white paper. So let's get straight to the point. The U.S. is not at war with Venezuela. I know you all predicted that there's going to be some forever protracted war, but we were never at war with Venezuela. There are no boots on the ground. Democrats are asking us to vote on a resolution about a situation that literally does not exist. We do not have anybody there in Venezuela fighting. There are no tanks on the ground in Caracas. There are no snipers in the tree line. Doesn't exist. Again, we are not at war. Maybe they're conferring about that right now. Let me confer with my colleagues a minute. Are we at war? I confirmed with my staff. We're not at war. Are there any troops on the ground? I confirmed with my staff also. There are no troops on the ground. They should confer with their staff. I see them doing that. Your Senate Democrat colleagues, they tried to bring this exact same resolution to the floor of the Senate, but even the Senate was smart enough to pull it because they didn't want to be embarrassed. Because let's say it again, we are not at war. Most of you Democrats predicted that we were going to be in some forever war, which again, by the way, you said after the strike hitting the Iranian nuclear facilities, their nuclear infrastructure, you all said we're going to be in a forever war. We weren't. And then you said the same thing years ago when President Trump killed Qasem Soleimani. We're going to be in this forever protracted war. Guess what? We weren't. We haven't been. Not for one moment since then. My Democrat colleagues, they are batting zero in predicting forever wars. Operation Absolute Resolve was a law enforcement action to bring Nicolas Maduro, an indicted narco-terrorist with a $50 million bounty, to justice. And President Trump finished the job. Thank you, President Trump, for finishing the job. It was literally over before breakfast. I've been in war. I can tell you, an operation that's over before breakfast, that's not a war. The Department of War, let me say this again, is not engaged in any hostilities within the Venezuela territory or with the Venezuelan military. They're not in tank battles. There are no tactical operations centers there. There are no convoys. There are no U.S. mess halls over there. There are no field hospitals. There are no trenches with infantry soldiers shooting at one another. We're not even there long enough for soldiers to heat up an MRE. That's what we eat in the field in the military, guys. But just to give you a level of peace of mind, because you were curious about this, Secretary Rubio confirmed in his letter last week that no U.S. armed forces are in Venezuela. He also confirmed that should there be any military operations that would put our forces in hostilities with Venezuela, that the administration will provide the appropriate notifications to Congress, literally in his letter. So what is this really about? This bill that you all refused to even say a word about in your opening statements. It's about spite. It's about the fact that you don't want President Trump to arrest Maduro, and you will condemn him no matter what he does, even though he brought Maduro to justice with possibly the most successful law enforcement operation in history. Your hypocrisy is clear as you chant and you lead your No Kings protest, but when it comes to taking down a dictator, you crawl into a corner, you curl up, and you start to cry about it. This is about your base having protests to free Maduro. This is about appeasing your far-left friends. Now, whether my colleagues want to admit it or not, the world is a safer place because President Trump had the backbone, the stones to do what nobody else would, bring Nicolas Maduro to justice. So, let me say this affirmatively as possible. If anybody votes yes on this war power resolution that my colleagues didn't want to describe, they are stupid. Because again, there is nobody at war, no forces in hostilities in Venezuela. It would be like them calling me today to take a pie out of the oven that we all ate a month ago. Mr. Speaker, I reserve.
The gentleman